Okay, so Mark, let's talk about, in my mind, one of the most important, if not the most important thing to protect and make safe, and that's kids in our congregations.
Huge
So talk about things that we need to think about to make sure that kids are safe when they come to our churches.
Children are vulnerable. And when they come into a church, the expectation set by parents and grandparents, right, is this is a loving, safe place. So kids automatically assume, I'm safe here. So should and be able to talk to anybody, can do anything. So we have to put in protections for that. That starts with a children's ministry check-in. It can look like a variety of different things. It doesn't have to look like one specific thing, but there needs to be a check-in protocol. And where the children are, forgive me, but it's coming out of parents' possession into our possession. Mm-hmm. And we need to take protections with that. So moving them from one to the other, clear handoff, if you will. Yeah. And then at the end, a clear hand back. Not just, get out of here, I'm done with you, go, right? There needs to be a clear hand back. So those two things. And then in the meantime, what do we do to protect them? Having a children's ministry area that is somewhat secure. I'm not going to say, chains on the door, but you know what I mean, right? A safe place. A 2-person in every room is a definite needful thing. It protects both one person and the other person against any false accusation, or, God forbid, should there be a real accusation, that puts a witness in. Yeah. Right? And we also have to have those protections for those people. What's the process of becoming a children's ministry worker? Do we have that 6-month rule in effect and enforced? Are we doing background checks? Are we checking them out? All those sorts of things to keep them safe.
Let me mention here that that's one of those resources the conference can provide. We do background checks, it's cheap. We just need to get people to fill out the form, and so we can handle that. So that's one of those resources.
And we did it at our church using the conference stuff, and it worked very well, very easily done. I mean, there are places you can check online, but you get what you pay for too. You pay for free, you get free, and that's why a couple dollars spent this way is a good asset and a good resource to do. And in talking with our staff, and we were doing it not only with the staff, but with our children's ministry personnel, I filled it out first and in front of them and handed it in. So I'm leading by example. I know the conference does take care of me, checking mine as a pastor, but I wanted them to know I'm going to do it too.
It's a great practice.
It's a good practice to say it's for me too. And then in handing the children back, there needs to be a clear way of the children being received. It's still a work in progress at our place. I'm not going to tell you we're different. But we need to be able to pass the children back in a safe and secure manner as in which we receive them. We again want to say our church is a safe place. Go ahead, run amongst the adults. And that's a good and loving thing, but that needs to be a mommy and daddy decision, not me as a ministry leader decision.
Yes, perfect. Yeah. I'll mention one other thing here too, and that is, this comes out of my own experience from before I was a Free Methodist. I was on the staff of a church when we discovered a very charismatic youth leader was living a double life. And so the church is a naturally trusting place.
Yes, it is.
But that also means that people who want to do harm know that it's a naturally trusting place. And so no matter what, if it's the pastor, it's the pastor's family, it's someone who's been going here for 100 years, if their grandparents went here, it doesn't matter, because you have to protect children, and that's far more important than we're trusting just because that person is fill in the blank.
And even if they're filling out the forms, they may not do that. So it's a nice thing to have in place an accountability issue, not only on the Sunday morning, right? That's why true in a classroom, and that's why somebody walking around windows and all that fun stuff. But also, what about a growth group or a group where those folks have to be accountable to, whether that be in a staff meeting, a pastoral context, or whatever else, because that's where those things get shared and talked about. And that can be handled. We could have called that person into a better relationship with the church, and let's face it, them with God, in a private sit-down setting, than waiting for some tragedy, something big to explode, which now causes all sorts of problems, rumors, devastation. It's just a better situation. And so there needs to be accountability too, as pastors, with those folks who are in those volunteer ministry positions.
I'll close with this on the children. Be praying for the kids, right? Be praying for their protection and praying for their growth. And all right. Thanks.